Hi, there's a ton of conflicting information out there about fussy eating, not just on Dr. Google, but among professionals who we go to see if something is challenging our child. Many of the families I work with have had their concerns minimized or have been told that they're panicking unnecessarily, or even that their behavior may be the root of their child's eating issues. The reality is that there are many children who have a real challenge around food. If your child is on the autism spectrum, for example, they are very likely to find food difficult. Over 80% of children on the spectrum do. If your child has ADHD, sensory sensitivities, generalized anxiety, or had undiagnosed allergies, for example, all of these can contribute to food challenges. And the reasons behind this are logical. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that if a child finds touching certain textures difficult, for example, they probably aren't going to happily put it in the mouth. However, eating is also not an exact science, but I can give you a mini checklist that's a good indicator as to whether your child's fussy eating is a problem or just normal developmental selectivity in a phase. If your child is over 2, and you're able to tick all or most of the items on the following checklist, I would recommend seeking support for your child's eating. So number 1, your child is not able to try any new foods. And this is super common. If that's the case, you're not alone. It's the primary challenge for most of the families we work with. And it's logical. If food is difficult, why wouldn't you say no? The second one, your child has not added a new food for a long period of time, or they're dropping previously accepted foods. Dropping foods is, again, really common. Despite the phase myth, children frequently go backwards, not forwards. And again, this is logical. If food is difficult, then having it exactly right is important. Going backwards is called funneling. See, it even has an official name. Funneling is where our child eats lots and lots of something, has a bad experience, or gets bored and they drop it. And then they have lots and lots of this, bad experience, bored, drop it. And so they're going like this, where obviously we're expecting them to go like that. And if your child has not added any new food for how many months, why would they suddenly decide to just start adding them now if nothing's changed? The third thing is your child eats less than 20 foods. That's fairly self-explanatory. Number 4, your child has an extreme reaction to unfamiliar foods. We all know as parents what fits within generally accepted responses. If your child's discomfort seems off the scale, it's telling you that something about that food is upsetting, anxiety producing, or even painful. The extreme end of sensory sensitivities can cause physical discomfort. The 5th one, mealtimes are stressful and disrupted, and/or your child eats differently to the rest of the family. And again, all of this is really, really common. Number 6, your child has a very rigid approach to food. So, for example, foods must be prepared, served in a specific way, or only one brand is accepted. And this rigidity, unfortunately, often magnifies over time. So if you're seeing more of this, it's a warning that eating challenges are probably getting worse. Number 7, you believe that they would starve rather than eat something outside of the comfort zone. And feeding experts have estimates of 4 to 11% of children who would starve themselves rather than eat something unfamiliar. So all the "no child ever starved themselves" comments are not correct and not coming from people with expertise in this area. Number 8, social situations are difficult or uncomfortable. And unfortunately, that's the reality for a lot of children who struggle to eat. Number 9, your child avoids whole food or texture groups. So, for example, eats no fruit or doesn't like anything soft. And number 10, your child is losing weight or has stagnant growth. However, even if you are ticking every box, please don't despair. Children who are at the extreme end of the eating challenge spectrum can still be helped. If you have ticked most of the boxes and you would like some support, please organise to speak to me directly, because you probably will need personalised support. And I know that may sound expensive, but it's really not. I have deliberately made it affordable for parents. It's really important for me to provide a service that's accessible. Having a child with extreme eating challenges can be really miserable, so let's get that sorted. If you would like to speak to me directly, please click on one of the buttons that says let's chat or speak to Judith, and it will take you to a booking link. I hope this has been helpful. If you'd like to share this with other parents or relatives where you know there are eating challenges, please feel free to do so.